This is the Iowa Weather Report for Monday, February 25th, 2013. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run. So at noon today we have a system, a fairly strong one, over the Texoma region, about near Wichita Falls or Childress, Texas. Another one diving into the Pacific Northwest, but the one to our south is the one we need to watch. It's vertically stacked with a surface low over Lake Texoma, some heavy snow over Oklahoma into Kansas, some blizzard conditions possible there, showers and thunderstorms, possible severe weather along the Gulf Coast. That'll be moving northeastward here on Tuesday. That could be bringing some light to maybe at times moderate snow over southeast Iowa, with lighter snows further to the west and northwest as the low moves to near or just southeast of St. Louis. Then on Wednesday it moves northeastward to near Erie, Pennsylvania, and trough hanging back could bring some light snow even into the state here on Wednesday as well. Now when we look at the probabilities of snowfall, this is from Monday evening to Wednesday evening. Now most of the snow will be over with by Wednesday evening. This is of 2 inches or more. You can see best chances southeast of a line from about Decorah to Fort Dodge to Omaha. Better chances further to the south over Missouri and Kansas. Then we go to 4 inches of snow. Best chances of that happening south of a line from about Prairie du Chien to Des Moines to about Red Oak or Shenandoah. Better chances over Missouri and eastern Kansas. When we move it up to 8 inches of snow or more, the best chances still over Missouri, east of Kansas City to Columbia to Kirksville, and across southeastern Iowa, the probabilities are still about 40 to maybe 60% there. And then when we move to a foot of snow, the best chance looks to be just to the east of Kansas City, about near Sedalia, and across eastern Kansas into northern Missouri, and maybe in Lee County around Keokuk and Fort Madison. When we look at some of the models, this is the 0Z NAM. This is through Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. This shows snow totals much higher, possibly upwards of 6 to 12 inches in southeast Iowa, with heavier amounts further to the south and west. When we use a different algorithm of the same model run, the 0Z NAM, it doesn't show much of a difference. The heavier totals over southeast Iowa over 6 inches, with lighter totals to the north and west to almost nothing across northwest Iowa and in the Siouxland. When we look here at the 0Z GFS model run of accumulating snow, this shows lighter snow totals, probably closer to what will happen, but still some high totals over southeast Iowa and even into eastern and southern Iowa as well. And another algorithm shows slightly heavier totals, maybe upwards of over a foot of snow in southeast Iowa, which looks to be a little bit too high, with lighter totals further to the north and northwest. We move back to the GFS model run, and that storm is now gone here on Thursday, but the cold air remains, highs in the 20s to lower to middle 30s across the state, at or below average for this time of the year with a fresh snow cover. That cold air continues to flood the state here on Friday with a few flurries or snow showers over Missouri into the Ohio Valley and into the Tennessee Valley as well, as the cold air really entrenches itself over the east. We move to Saturday to start off the weekend. Cold still. In fact, the cold is now being spread across the rest of the east, down into Florida. Flurries possible in the south and the mid-south and up into the Ohio Valley. Sunday, still under this cold weather. It starts to moderate a little bit in the plains, but we're not in the plains. We're in the Midwest, and it will still be cold here. Highs likely at or below average. And even a week from today, we have a system coming down from the northwesterly flow, so this will likely be our next storm system after this current one moving through early this week. It'll be over the Dakotas at this point, and that could bring a frontal system down that could bring some snow again by Monday into next Tuesday across the state. Accumulations are possible, but it's still too far off to be watching this storm at this time. A couple days after that, on March the 8th, we have pretty much a zonal pattern again. We have a storm moving into the Pacific Northwest, a trough beginning to lift out over New England, but it's flat over this part of the country. And with that, we have quick moving storms, and maybe temperatures will start to warm up by this point. By this point, it will be meteorological spring, but It may not feel like meteorological spring with a bit of snow possible. And then at the end of the forecast on March the 12th, we have a west to northwesterly flow aloft with a bit of a system over northern Mexico, some energy up in the Dakotas, up into Canada, and over the Hudson Bay. And with that could bring some snow again to at least North Dakota, northern South Dakota, and into the Great Lakes, a frontal system off the East Coast, and it looks to remain, well, at least close to seasonal levels, maybe a tad below by the middle of March. Last night's satellite image showed the storm system in question over the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle with some showers, thunderstorms, and snow beginning to break out. Some thunderstorms also over the Gulf Coast region, and a new storm moving into the northwest. The watch warning map from last evening, numerous blizzard warnings in red, winter storm warnings, and flood watches over the south, winter storm watches up into the Great Lakes, and some wintry weather also over the Pacific Northwest. QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days through Friday evening at 6 o'clock, showing some decent amounts of precipitation around here, from about nothing in northwest Iowa to possibly upwards of an inch of liquid precipitation over the southeast.